In this video, we're going to go over the 3 safest exercises for lower back pain relief. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over 3 easy and safe ways to help relieve lower back pain. And we're going to do this by focusing on exercises that are going to help lengthen and, more importantly, strengthen the muscles that help support the lower back. That way we can get both quick and long-lasting relief. Why these exercises are generally more safe is because we're going to keep the back neutral or straight, so there's no awkward bending or twisting motions that may aggravate the lower back. A note about these exercises, each one works just a little bit differently. They're going to target different muscles. To get the best results, go through them all, use what gives you the most relief. With that being said, let's get started. So let's start with an exercise I call the 3D dead bug. This one is going to focus a little bit more on the core muscles and the hip flexors, which both support the lower back. To get into position, we're going to lie flat on our back in bed or on a floor. Just have your legs roughly about hip width apart and knees bent at 90 degrees. So your knees are just right up towards the ceiling. Let's start off by focusing on the hip flexors, including the psoas muscle, which if you're unfamiliar with them can cause leg pain, groin pain, even a lot of lower back pain. So if that's what you're experiencing, give this one a try. You're going to overlap your hands like this and place them right over your knee. The goal is to drive this knee towards your chest, but you're going to resist against that movement with your hands. So allow your hands to win this battle. But the more that you press into your hands, the more that you're going to feel the muscles right here on the top of the thigh towards the groin start to activate. Hold this comfortably for about 3 to 5 seconds and then relax, and then repeat this on the other side. I like to do this for about 10 repetitions on both sides, but if you want to make it more challenging, throw in another set or 2. So next we're going to go into the dead bug, which is going to focus a little bit more on our core muscles. So let's get back into having our legs at hip width apart, knees bent at 90 degrees. What you want to do is slowly lower one leg down like this to the point where it's just hovering above the bed or the floor. In this position, you're really going to feel those core muscles start to fire. Try to hold this comfortably for about 3 to 5 seconds. Relax, and then repeat this on the other side. Again, try to do this for about 10 repetitions, but you can throw in as many repetitions as you'd like. But this is how we're going to take it to the next level and now do the 3D dead bug. So this one is very similar, but what we're going to do this time around is straighten our leg like this, but turn our foot inward as much as we can, focusing on moving through our hip. You should really feel the muscles around the hips, including the glutes, start to fire. Once you feel that, you're now going to sweep your leg inward like this, and it will really intensify that activation into those muscles and also the core. I like to hold this one for about 3 to 5 seconds and then relax. On the next repetition, what I'm going to do is go in the opposite direction. So what I'm going to do, straighten my leg, turn my foot outward as much as I can, and then swing it out. It just targets the muscles a little bit differently. I feel it more in my inner part of my thigh, going towards my groin. But give that one a try and just make sure to do it on both sides. But go through all of these motions. If you find that one is just really addressing tightness or weakness, at that point I recommend throwing in a couple more repetitions. So one of the best ways to pretty much strengthen all of the muscles that support the lower back is by doing the pelvic bridge. For this one, we're just going to lie flat on our back on a floor or in bed. Let's start off by doing the basic bridge, and then I'll show you how to take this one to the next level. So let's have our legs roughly about hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. What you want to do is engage and brace the core muscles. So imagine somebody trying to poke you in your stomach, how you tense up. Hold that position and then also squeeze your glutes. This will help protect the spine. Take your hands, put them off to your side for support. What I like to do is just gently press my heels into the floor. When you do that, you'll feel the glutes engage a little bit more. And then from there, I just raise my hips upward towards the ceiling until my body is in a nice straight line from my knees to my hips to my shoulders. If you're unable to get into this position because of weakness or pain, like let's say you can only go up a little bit, do the best you can. Hopefully over time you'll gain strength and flexibility. But in this position, you're going to feel the core muscles, lower back muscles, your butt, your legs, everything firing that helps support the lower back. Try to hold this position for about 5 seconds, relax, and then repeat this about 10 times. And with each repetition, really focus on trying to build into it just a little bit more. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, challenge yourself to throw in another set or two. So this is how we can take the bridge to the next level, engage some more muscles, and hopefully strengthen them to give more long-lasting back pain relief. I'm going to do what is called a clamshell bridge, which is going to focus a little bit more on the glutes. So for this one, I'm going to take my feet and press them together like this, and then try to wing my knees downward towards the floor as much as I can until I feel a really good stretch form on the inner part of the thigh that works towards the groin into the hips. Once you feel that, you're going to do the same thing. Brace the core muscles, squeeze the glutes, and then lift your hips upward towards the ceiling until your body is in that nice straight line. But this time around, you should really feel it around your butt and around the hips. Hold this one for 5 seconds, relax, try to do that one for about 10 times. You can also focus a little bit more on your legs. It's really important to have strong legs to support both your hips and your lower back by doing what is called the hamstring bridge. So let's get back into our original position of having our legs roughly about hip width apart. What I'm going to do, press my heels into the floor and then have my toes pointed straight up towards the ceiling. Let's embrace the core muscles, squeeze the glutes, raise up like this. But this time around, what I'm going to do is hold this position and then slowly walk out with my heels. As you do this, you're really going to feel those hamstrings start to fire. So if you have a lot of weakness in the back of your legs, don't be alarmed if you can only go a couple steps before you almost just go flat. But try to build into this one as much as you can. You can go forward with it, and you can also go backward. But give that a try for about 5 complete repetitions. Go through all the movements though. If you find one is helping you out, really addressing tightness or weakness a little bit more, at that point, throw some more repetitions in. So this exercise is going to focus a little bit more on strengthening the erector spinae muscle group, which are the muscles that hold us upright. So if you get a lot of pain bending forward and then coming back up, especially from a standing to seated position, definitely check this exercise out. I call it the bird dog hydrant. So what we're going to do is start on all fours. Let's begin with the half bird dog. It's a little bit easier to do. So what you want to do is just keep one foot flat on the floor and then just slide it away from you, pointing your toes away at the same time. The more that you straighten your leg, the more that you should feel a gentle stretch form in your calf muscle that works upward towards the back of your thigh, into the hamstrings, around the hips, into the glutes, into the lower back. Keep pressing out until you feel it in the lower back. Once you feel that, hold this position and then slowly raise your foot up like this so your leg is in line with your body. You're going to feel a ton of muscles start to fire, but really focus on feeling it in the lower back. If you don't feel it, just raise your leg up a little bit more. I'm sure that you definitely will start to feel that. Try to hold that comfortably for 3 to 5 seconds. You're going to relax, and then you're going to repeat this on the other side. Do this nice and slowly for about 5 to 10 repetitions on both sides. But if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, challenge yourself. Throw in another set or two. So to take this one to the next level, you can do what is known as the full bird dog. It's very similar, but what we're going to focus on doing is raising one leg up and the opposite side's arm. So I have my right leg and my left arm. This position is great because not only will it help strengthen, but it will also help improve balance, because if you have a lot of weakness, you're probably going to struggle to be in this position. So really try to focus on controlling this movement as much as you can. But give that a try for about 5 to 10 repetitions on both sides. So the last movement that we're going to do is called the hydrant. And this one is going to focus a little bit more on strengthening the hips, especially with the glutes. For this one, instead of taking our foot back like this, what we're going to do is keep one knee bent at 90 degrees and just raise it up slightly so it's hovering above the floor. Now what we're going to do is slowly swing that leg upward like this towards the ceiling and rotate our whole body, including our upper back and head, to look upward towards the ceiling. Now you know why we call this one the hydrant, but keep going up until you feel all the muscles around the lower back and the hip on this side right here start to fire. Hold this comfortably for 3 to 5 seconds, relax, and then repeat it on the other side. But do this one nice and slowly, again, for about 5 to 10 repetitions. And if it feels like you have some more energy, challenge yourself. Always try to challenge yourself. Go through all of the movements. If you find that one is just helping you out a little bit more, at that point, throw more repetitions in. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.